Hello everyone, welcome back to Game of Thrones, Winter's Coming. We have had a update some time ago. I've been a bit busy in real life, and then there was KVK and a minor thing that had to be patched in the game that kind of prevented me from putting out this video in the weekend, but I'll still try to make it just for those that are following me, so that you guys know what's up and down, and I will go into some of the futures to talk about how they work, how they can change the game, and give you some aspects on it. So first of all, we have a new research added, which is the badge preset research, something that has been asked for by the community for some time now. We'll take a look at that in a moment, where it is and such, what it's going to do. And then there's also been added tavern rewards that you can quick claim, as you can see here in the city affairs, and it can still crit even though you quick claim it. Based on how I saw and how I've seen the general things, it can still crit there, so you don't have to just go to the tavern and do it there if you want to have it crit or something like that. So keep that in mind as well. It's just an easy access to just empty it out immediately, I would say, so that's pretty decent. And then we have the new Awakening Commander Julien, which is the commander that has, or spear commander that has 30 attack, 30 cav and 30 spear attack percent unawakened, so at gold, so that's something we can look at as well. But yeah, what else has been added? There's been some improvements to the 9th chapter of Weirwood, hopefully making it a little bit easier. I'm going to talk about my experience with that, and then there's just some bug fixes and stuff. So let's go right into the first thing, which is the badge preset. You can see I have it running right now here in refinement, and basically it's at the very end of the refinement tree, which means that to get Badge Master, you have to almost get the entire refinement tree. I think there's just like two or three researchers you don't have to max out. Everything else you most likely will have to max out to get to Badge Master. And Badge Master itself takes a lot of days, so getting the badge presets is going to be not something easy, but for those that have unlocked the 4th slot and so on, it might be at that time where you think, okay, it's pretty nice to have. You can see here the badge configurations at level 1 plus 1, and it says here as a description: with reliable Mace's assistance, a lord can quickly switch badges. Badge configuration can be saved after unlocking the research. I have heard that the system or addition to the game here basically isn't working 100% to what it's supposed to. I can see if I can finish the correct one. I have to see here, badge planning. Gonna end that. Gonna use my trying skill first, and then it should be done. I would assume that the badge preset is going to be somewhere in here. Yeah, the badge preset is here. You can see here, if we create, then it's possible to set in certain badges at certain slots. Right now, from what I can have heard, it kind of sometimes makes your badges vanish when you try to use it, or it resets things a bit different than what you wanted to, but most of those cases can be solved by just refreshing the game and you should get all your badges and stuff back. So I might do a video on it when they have changed out everything to the way they wanted to, and then I'll basically show how it works. But that's been added, which is always it's a nice thing. I can see it being useful if it's going to work like I hope it will, where you can just click on it and it will just switch your badges around based on whatever needs you have. Then it's for sure a decent investment if you get like a couple of pages, depending on whatever troop type or whatever setup you're running. I know back in the day they also had badges for gathering and rival leaders and so on. So I don't know if that's kind of indicating if they are going to make a comeback for that, but I don't think so. Right now we have the troop specific badges and we have the total badges as well for total health, defense and attack, and I think they won't be adding any badges anytime, new badges anytime soon. We also have the KVK badges, which gives attack and def on each badge, so keep it with a grain of salt. But yeah, we can take a look at weirwood 3 then now. They have said the difficulty has been changed, and I made a couple of test attempts, and from what I can see, it's gotten slightly easier, a little bit. But I still don't have Simon unlocked. I've been focusing on some other stuff with my points from AC and Siege of Winterfell. So I still believe without Simon it's impossible or near impossible to do, unless you're very good at manual using troops. At least most of the setups I saw on the Game of Thrones Discord, which the link is down below in the description, the most formations I saw there were basically focused on having Simon as well, and some of the pay-to-win commanders, but you could do it with free-to-play, but you will need Simon at, I can't remember if it's grey alone is enough or you need him to have him at green or blue. Either way, look into it there if you want a decent formation. As I said, I don't have Simon, so I can't really do it, but that's kind of how it is sometimes, but yeah. Next up we have the Awakening of Julien, so we can take a look at that at least. I don't have Julien awakened. I believe I have him green? Question mark? I don't even have him green, I have him grey. Yeah, 5 meters away from green. Of course, if you look at here, it takes of course the usual books to get for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4. If you want to convert, you will need epic Grendel tokens, which is a shame but kind of expected, means it's going to be more expensive. And we can look at his hidden ability effect. You can see it's focused around infantry, cavalry and spearmen. And if you look at the upgrade, we have of course the max level on commander, which is decent. The cooldown for skills and the damage for skills, active skills, is increased and decreased. Cooldown decreased, of course, damage increased, which is super nice as well. I believe some use Julien for rebel leaders, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but increased skill damage also usually means that you will damage more of the enemy army, so that's decent. Friendship, which is also great. Can't remember what he's running on top of my head, but we can look at that in a moment. And then there's the enhanced passive upgrade for 1.6, which means that since he has, you can see here, he has the 30% on each of them. 1.6% upgrade to that will probably mean that he will be at 40 something percent in each of those, I would assume. So it will put him at around 47 or something like that. And with the hidden ability effect here, and if you look here, you can see here it says 2% for each, I believe, at least in the middle. And if we have, let's say, 12, 13 each of those, then that will put him basically fully at 3-star awakened with full books used on him. Would probably put him above 70% total in general, meaning that he will have over 70% inf attack, 70% cav attack and 70% spear attack. So for the wall, that's pretty broken, and for some people that are running specific comps, or they're running all three types of troops, they can definitely get value out of him. Whether or not that should be it, I don't know. We can see here his 4-star skill for every one attack made by the troops troop commander Julien belongs to. The troops attack damage increased by 2%, which is a maximum of 12%. and there's some debate going around if it's flat attack damage or not. If it's flat attack damage, it's not that's broken, since it won't add that much extra damage on top of that. But it does apply to the army in general, which is a nice thing. The downside of the skill is that you will, from the testing we have done, that you will need spearmen in your formation to actually activate the skill, and without spearmen Julien won't really have anything he's assigned to, from what I understand, and because of that this skill won't activate. I don't know if that's something they plan to patch out later on or not, but my recommendation with this Awakening troop right now, I would say make him 3 stars, get him maxed out on the books, also for 4-star books, so you get the full flat buff from the books as well, and just let him be there, because 320 elite, not elite tokens, epic tokens is a lot, and with Annie there I would probably say that Annie, if you don't have any 4-star, probably invest in her instead, as her skill is far more broken. And I have to see if I can find her. Annie. She should be somewhere. Oh, maybe she's further up because I have a level up there. Her skill is far more broken in the sense that you can see here, when she's casting her army skill or extra skill, she directly wipes out troops of the enemy army, which is a lot. And of course there's probably also a set limiter for it, but yeah, I would say if you only have 320 epic tokens and you have to pick between those two to max out to 4-star, pick any. Julien is decent to have, but it's super expensive compared to what you get in return, in my opinion at least. Yeah, so now we can look at what his tavern stats are. He has finance, command, and combat rate. So getting him to 2-star would basically give a star to each of those 3 stats, which is decent. Command can be debated if it's good or not. Finance can be decent as well if you're low on gold, but most people will probably look at the combat rate and think for that alone it might be worth. Going from 4-star to 5-star combat rate is a pretty decent upgrade, and for me alone that's good enough. But yeah, so sorry about that, I had someone at the door and I had to go to it, so but yeah. Basically what you can see is that Julien Awakening is nice to have, not really super needed, not something that's top tier or anything like that. Yeah, and we have right now also the Season of Blossoms, so make sure that you go into that event as well right now. Personally, I would recommend you to go for the GoTWiCChronicler or the Castle Rock one if you need something specific. Or if you if I just noticed, if you have still need for Rebel Leader gear, then go for Red Keep Fireworks, so that's there as well. And we have the Summer Dance as well going right now. The Corellia shop has Layla, Annie, Theon, Jon Snow and so on, which is nice. And they also have the tokens at the bottom, so keep that in mind as well. They could be decent if you need to upgrade some of them. I'm personally looking into maybe getting the Andrea ones so I can get her further. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion about that. But yeah, and you can see here, I believe it was 2 you could get for gold, 4 for diamonds, and then the rest you have to buy with black diamonds. And it's a little bit expensive and such, but for some people it might be worth if they have enough. You can see that you can also get extra tokens here, or Goddess Corolla. So that's a possibility as well, but that's pretty much what's going on in the game right now. Alliance Conquest is the next big event that's coming up in a few days, so that's going to be super exciting. And there are some changes to the rules. I saw that they made so that when your defensive army has to take in an attack at a spot, then it's going to be your rally size plus 1 million troops, something like that. So definitely interesting to see that change. I think the change was made due to the fact that some of the upper bracket matches there were just people just solo hitting out of the entire points, and it's kind of against the game, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said before, the Game of Thrones Discord group, the link is down in the description below. There's also a link to the game if you want to play it, and yeah, comment, like, and subscribe if you want as well. And that's going to be all from me today. So take care, have fun, and good luck with AC. Bye bye.